Hello and welcome to Play Repeat. I'm Oliver. I'm joined by Niall, Alex, and Lewis.
Hello.
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 It's time for the PTR show, our bi-monthly news and discussion podcast.
Yes.
How we doing, fellas? What have we been up to? Anything good? Anything interesting?
Nope.
Cool.
Nada.
Literally nothing.
What exciting lives we lead.
Oh, we lead very exciting lives.
I'm going to see Ninja Sex Party tonight. That's tonight.
That's tonight.
Yeah. We're hyped. I'm hyped for it.
Honestly, I wish I was going.
You should have gone. You had the opportunity to buy the tickets and everything.
I did.
Alas, there we go.
Everyone had the opportunity. I assume they haven't sold out, unless they have.
It's not a big venue, so I would assume they have. It's quite popular.
They
Popular
are
enough to do a world tour anyway.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, cool. Well, since no one's been doing anything because we're all boring, we'll move on to
Beep boop boop. What have we been playing?
Niall.
Yes.
We've been playing Brother.
Oh, let me tell you what I have been playing. We've been playing a lot of Overwatch, haven't we, fellas?
We have
Still?
been playing a lot of Overwatch.
Yeah.
I'm too into it at the moment. I want to play it all the time.
Yeah, it's just bumming great. They're keeping up with the cadence of a hero every season, a season every 2 months. So we're going to be getting another hero in a month. I wish we did get more cinematics, but no, it's just very Moorish, isn't it? It's like Twiglets.
It is like Twiglets. What was the last cinematic they did?
I mean the Sierra one, but it wasn't a proper one. So it was the proper one was the Vendetta one.
Oh, okay.
Which was alongside the announcement of it going back to Overwatch 1, I believe. So I need more of those. Need to bring it.
I don't think I
bring
saw
it
that
back.
It used to be a big deal when Overwatch cinematics came out, but no longer the case.
No longer the case. Trying to think of anything else I've played. Honestly, it's just been like sort of been quite Overwatch coded recently.
You've
As
not
the
been
kids
playing
say.
anything else. You just hate video games.
Well, I did, and now I don't anymore.
All right. Okay.
'Cause-
Cool. Thanks to the video game book club games.
Yeah, exactly. Because we did. It was uploaded. It would be yesterday, wouldn't it? As this goes up, we found a ghost trick, just a bit of behind the scenes. It took me from start to finish when I first booted it up to when I completed it, nearly about 2.5 months to beat that game. About 10 hours long. Because of how horrible it was.
Yeah.
But as soon as I've beaten it, I'm like, oh wow, the world's my oyster. So probably more games from me.
Yeah.
Going
If you
forward.
want to see the full ghost trick review, it's up on our channel right now.
Yes.
Cool. Alex, apart from the big one, have you been playing anything else?
No, the only other thing that I've beaten is Dead Rising 3 with Lewis, which was a pleasant surprise. It was actually really, really fun. Just exploring the actual city was a bit of a drag sometimes, having to drive, because there'd be missions that would spawn. You'd be on one part of the island, and then it would be on the other side of the island. There's no fast travel or anything, and there's so many zombies. Like literally, I want to say there's about 200 zombies on screen at one time.
Jesus.
Was Dead Rising 3 the Xbox One launch game?
Yes.
Is that, yeah, so that'll explain why there's a massive increase in zombies on.
Yeah, so the other two were set in a mall. So obviously they had to like downscale the amount of zombies. So that's probably how they did it. But with this game, there was so many zombies because it's just set in a city, and oh my god, like Lewis can attest to this. Like just how many times we were getting frustrated towards the end of just how many zombies were just in our way, and like there was loads of roadblocks, so you had to take different detours and
He's back. Are we still recording?
Yeah, we're still recording. I don't know what the fuck happened there. Sorry about
you have like a hotkey or something to like leave the
that.
Discord.
I do not have a hotkey. I played a video so we could see some Dead Rising on the screen. Apologies to everyone watching. Sorry, I will now put that said footage on the screen. There we go.
There we go.
Cool. Sorry, what was you saying, Alex?
Lost my train of thought now. Yeah,
Zombies, roadblocks.
big city, loads of zombies, very fun. I definitely recommend people to play it co-op. I don't know about single player experience because I didn't play it single player, but me and Lewis had a good time, didn't we?
We did. It's definitely the best co-op experience of a Dead Rising game anyway. Not that there's that many, it's only 2 and 3. But 2 came out on the 360 and the PS3. And you could tell that the co-op in that game was very much an afterthought, whereas the co-op in this honestly seemed like it was their designed way to play it. Like, it's one of those games where everything in co-op just works. Like, they clearly thought about every single scenario. Like, even starting a mission as one character on the other side of the map, if you were to start it, it would just teleport the other player and just bring them to you, as opposed to Dead Rising 2, where you had to be stood right next to each other at all times, otherwise you couldn't interact with anything.
Yeah, it was really good because there was times where we had to like go to like different parts of the map. So I would go to one part, Lewis would go to another. But then we had a weird glitch, didn't we? Which was quite frustrating.
Yeah,
It was the
glitch
last.
with one of the missions that just made it so he couldn't beat it, and it was
Yeah.
annoying, but it just is it is what it is.
Yeah.
But the whole game was very fun. I was expecting it to be bad because I've heard over the years that people think that Dead Rising 3... Well, I think people think Dead Rising 4 is the worst one now, but people generally say that Dead Rising 3 is the worst one, because it's the first one that leaves the mall, and it's a new character that isn't Frank West or Chuck Green. So I was expecting it to be really bad, but it ended up being probably my favourite one that I've played. So
Yeah.
it was just a really good time.
Dead Rising 4 I've co-op.
No.
Oh, that's a bit sad, isn't
It
it?
seems like a bit of a
No,
weird
it's not.
addition.
It's a bad game, apparently.
Bad game.
Yeah,
Damn.
Apparently.
everyone says Dead Rising 4 is horrific, yeah. Like, Dead Rising 3, I think people don't like it because I think they prefer the mall setting, and I don't think that people like that they got rid of Frank West. But Dead Rising 4, they brought back Frank West, and they brought back the mall, and people don't like it. People say it's awful.
Damn.
But I wouldn't touch it anyway, because like I said, it's a co-op thing to me. I probably wouldn't play Dead Rising single player, personally.
How is it narratively?
I mean, it's a very bog standard zombie story. Yeah, it's just...
It can be a bit all over the place though sometimes, because there was a moment where we had to go find some guy which had the keys to the plane. Then all of a sudden he was in an astronaut suit. And then we were fighting him, and then he was all right with us.
Yeah,
in the span of 5 minutes.
The game's very wacky. Like, obviously, that's what Dead Rising is known for. It's very silly. But in terms of just general plot, it's just there was an outbreak. We're trapped in this one specific place. We need to find a way to either get out or kill all the zombies. And the killing the zombies part usually revolves around the zombies going to get bombed or nuked. So, and because I'm pretty sure that is the exact plot of the first two as well.
Yeah, that's not familiar.
Yeah, so it's just very basic, but like it's the side missions and the stupid characters and the stupid weapons and all that carry the game, and you don't really play it for the story.
Yeah, and the time limit as well. There is a time limit, but there's basically no time limit because they give you 7 days, and me and Lewis beat it in 3. So
Capital G game.
That's another Capcom game as well.
Yeah, that's what.
Been playing nothing.
That's
but
what I mean.
games.
Yeah, that was
nothing but Capcom. That's what, like when the credits rolled. That's when me and Lewis were like, "Lewis, you need to play something other than Capcom."
Outside of Enslaved, I have not played a game that isn't a Capcom game this year.
That's interesting.
And I've played like 16, 17 games or something like that. Like it's quite a bit.
Cool. Lewis, have you been playing anything other than Dead Rising and the big one that we're going to discuss at the end?
No, that's been it, sadly. I was on like a rule to myself to not play anything until I'd beaten Jkjk.
Yeah.
And Jkjk took a while.
Yeah.
It took maybe a month or so I kind of just didn't play anything because of it. But stuff's definitely going to start again now, so I'm excited.
Cool. Well, I'll move on to what I've been playing. I've been playing quite a lot. I've been playing a couple of new games as well. So,
Oliver, tell me about Mouse PI for Hire. Why don't you?
I was about to. I was about to. So, Mouse PI for Hire. It's a boomer shooter that is wrapped up in this like kind of a what's the kind of cartoon called? It's like rubber band cartoon.
Rubber band
cartoon. Yeah. So you're in a 3D world, but all the enemies and and all the UI and everything is all 2D. And it's really really fun. I really enjoyed my time with it to the degree where I gave it a 9 out of 10.
Ooh.
Oh wow!
The story's nothing to write home about. It's your bog standard like gumshoe kind of detective story.
What did you give Resident Evil 9?
I gave it a 9.
Oh damn! So that's 2 GOAT contenders right there.
Oh yeah. I don't play games that I don't like the look of. But yeah, no. The like I say, story's very gumshoe and it explores like some really kind of like adult themes. Like to say, it's obviously very cartoony. There's a lot of adult themes, like there's trafficking and there's quite clearly racism and stuff in this world that the guy you're playing as has to kind of like maneuver and kind of solve and find out who's doing what and who's trafficking all the shrews. Well, yeah, it's very, very good. Out of you three, I think I said last PTR show, I would definitely recommend it to Lewis the most. But anyone who enjoyed Doom should just give it a go.
Did enjoy Doom.
One
thing which I did hear is that the gunplay isn't very meaty. It's not as meaty as you'd expect it to be.
It doesn't feel. It's hard because it's with games like Doom, everything's 3D and things can explode and shit like that. But this is everything's 2D graphics, so your shooting doesn't feel as tactile at all.
Yeah.
But the some of the guns you get are really, really cool. Like there's the one that I used for the most of the game was called the Devarnisher, which essentially shoots terps at the characters, which are all made of ink and paper and stuff like that. So it just melts them down to like skin and bones. So there's some cool. There's a cannon, like a full size cannon as well. You carry with you. There's just stuff like that. There's I don't think the gunplay was bad at all. I don't think it was as good as Doom's, but I don't think it was bad at all. But so I gave that one a 9 out of 10. Moving on to the other game I played, Replaced. Absolute banger of a game. So when I first started, I don't know if I started playing it when we were playing the PTR show, when we do the PTR show last. I was saying it was quite slow, and the first hour it's a mess of exposition and just words and words and words, and you can't speed up the dialogue or anything like that. There's no voice acting; it's all text. You can't speed up the dialogue. But I mentioned last time that was the combat was really good, and once you get past that first hour and a half of the game, once it lets you off the leash and stops just bombarding you with text constantly, it's such a good game. Obviously, you can see by the trailer, it looks beautiful and it sounds beautiful as well. The aesthetic they've gone for is just absolutely perfect for the kind of story they're trying to tell, and you do end up caring about the characters and all that kind of stuff. But the standout of the game is the combat. It's like kind of Arkham-esque. But in like it's obviously a 2D setting, so you got your counters when you see the things that go above the head, just like in Arkham. But then there's shield enemies where you've got to destroy the shields first. You get a gun that charges the more you kill things. So the more you kill things, then you'll get a bullet in your gun which you can shoot someone or kill them straight away. All the bosses are really fun. I had a really, really good time with it. I've marked it down because the first hour was a slog and I nearly stopped playing it. I gave this one a 7 out of 10.
I don't know. It does look like I said. The thing that's carrying it for me every time I see it is the graphics.
Yeah, well, the main selling point.
Incredible.
Yeah, the main selling point for sure. The combat, like I say, you'll like the combat. Anyone who played Arkham and enjoyed Arkham will like the combat. It can be quite challenging as well.
Yeah, I've never been a big fan of that style of art. But I'm glad you enjoyed it, despite it not being an official recommendation.
It wasn't an official recommendation from Niall. Niall did tell me about it, but it was made very clear it was not an official recommendation.
No, I knew nothing of it.
Getting out of these official recommendations all the way.
Well, no,
I'm
very upfront when I say this is an official recommendation. The last one was the Eternal Life of Goldman, which you said this is going to be my game of the year. So yeah. I was going to say something, but I forgot. So there we go.
Finally, I've only played maybe an hour of this, so I can only just very, very first impressions. Saros. Jesus Christ, is that game hard? I know, Niall, you said was it last night or earlier today? You said, "Oh, people are saying it's easy, so you must be bad." Maybe I am bad, but it is quite hard. I've got to the first boss once. I only had time to do that because I died a few times out in the overworld of the first biome. It is easier than Returnal. You can tell straight away it's easier than Returnal.
What I've heard in terms of difficult
Returnal.
Yeah, this guy said Eternal Life of Goldman.
Yeah.
What I've heard is that it's like difficult if you do any sort of farming, then it can just become trivial. Like they allow you to farm your way out of trouble. So
they give you've got a skill tree that at the end of every run, any currency that you've gained from that last run, you can then spend on skills. So no matter what, you will eventually outlevel your way to beating something,
Yeah.
which is what I want. It could take a long time, which is what I think that for me, that's what Returnal for me personally, that's what Returnal was missing. Just the fact that I'd love to be able to beat it first time. That's great. Some people can't though. You know what I mean? So like, find a way so other people can get there, even if it takes longer. So I'm looking forward to playing more. I've got the itch already. I really want to play more of it.
Yeah, the director on Saros did an interview on the Friends Per Second podcast, and he was saying that was their main aim, was to make. They believed that Returnal was an incredible game, but they just wanted to make it so more people could experience it.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was their main aim.
They get more sales, especially because Returnal's already out as well, and people will have played it and known whether it's for them or not. This gives them that, like, we'll give this one a chance. So it's more sales for them. There's modifiers in the game as well to both make it easier and make it harder. I've not touched them. I don't even know what they are, but I know they are there. If you're playing this game, you think, oh, this is too easy for me, then there are modifiers in there to make it hard for you, to give you that Returnal experience if you want it. All right. Yeah. And I'll stop talking so much. I know I said a lot there, but I've realised that they're all new games, so I thought it was quite pertinent that I talk about them.
Yeah. We like new games, huh?
We like new games. And I didn't get a wrap it up from anyone, I don't believe.
No.
So we're all good. Niall.
We'll move on to news.
We're going to move on to...
Breaking news.
We're not got breaking news. We
got
with
the news.
That's the right one. That's the correct one.
News time.
They're both the same icon on my screen. Apologies.
Yeah, so I think we'll start off with two light ones, and then we'll go into a more meaty one. First one, especially as it's on your screen right now, we can talk about the Resident Evil teaser trailer that we saw yesterday. Yeah,
I'll bring that up.
So this is directed by the same person who directed Weapons, which I know you Weapons watched, right?
Oh, fantastic movie.
Yeah, I have not seen it.
You should watch it. It's good.
Yeah, I mean,
Wong goes crazy.
Who does?
Wong.
Wong's in it.
Wong
he didn't tell me Wong was in it.
Yeah, Wong's in it.
No, I need to watch it. But yeah, it looks to me, after not seeing Weapons or not seeing any of the previous Resident Evil movies. I know you don't need to watch them to watch this, but it seems like it's got the quality to it. It seems a bit artsy fartsy in its horror, which is nice.
I have no idea what they're doing with this at all. We watched the trailer yesterday, and number one, there's not a single zombie in this trailer that I can see, and what the things you do see, and I would argue aren't zombie adjacent.
No, I don't know. At the moment, to me, it doesn't feel like it has anything to do with Resident Evil, other than I think it's been said that it's meant to take place in Raccoon City. I think that is...
There's like, you can see like the mountains and stuff. That might be the Arclay Mountains as well, because they're supposedly right near each other. I don't know what the fuck that
like.
Guy
I
is.
don't necessarily need it to. I don't necessarily need it to follow the games exactly, because I've seen a lot of people angry that there's no named characters, or it isn't exactly like a different Resident Evil game. But the thing is, we've had multiple films that are like the Resident Evil games. And that, like, even though like they may be like cult classics now, like they were never overly received very well. So I don't think it's an awful decision to take this approach, even if it might only be Resident Evil in name only. We'll have to see. But I think it looks good. Whatever movie he's trying to make, it looks interesting.
It looks like a good horror film for sure.
Yeah, I think if like in terms of like wrapping it in the world, if they take the same approach that not the Duncan Egg Game of Thrones series did, where that could just be its own thing, not even in that world. But what they utilized is something that George R. R. Martin said, and people sort of meme it now, where he said like every single character the character walks past in the street, you could have like an entire series about that. I feel like that's something that Raccoon City has as a quality. Is like we got like that very, very brief one-side story with the dad and the daughter, probably the most captivating part of Resident Evil 2. And that was just one person, which we saw very, very briefly. I think that because of the environment and the setting and what happens in Raccoon City, they could do anything with it, really. But it is a bit weird that like the main zombie, which isn't a zombie, is something which we've never seen before, or even adjacent to anything. You think it would be a bit closer, and also the guy from Dune's in it for some reason.
Yeah. I've seen people say like, again, we talked about hardcore Resident Evil fans on the show before, Seen people on like Twitter basically say, "Oh no, this you should base it on this," and basically just a picture of the box art for the first Resident Evil game, and then people will say, "Oh well, it's already been there's already been a novelization of the first one. Just follow that, but it's by SD Perry. I've read it. It's fucking boring. It describes all the puzzles and stuff like that in extreme detail as if you're playing the game. And I think the worst thing they could do with this movie is base it off a Resident Evil game, for sure. They have video games."
Well, I also think it would be a bad idea anyway, just in general, because I said this in the review. None of the Resident Evil games, bar like the back end, like 7 and 8, have good stories, really. The stories in every Resident Evil game are pretty much nothing.
Yeah.
Like, there is a story, but it is nothing that would sell a movie or a TV show. It's very, very simple. So I think taking this approach and just doing something completely unrelated is like the right move, or the only move really, if they want it to do well. Because if you follow it 1-to-1, I just don't think people are going to care, or a general audience is going to care. I think that's what Resident Evil fans get, I guess, confused in their head, is that these films aren't catering to the fans of Resident Evil. They're trying to cater to people who don't know Resident Evil. So obviously the Resident Evil fans are going to get upset, or they are going to be like, this is not right, this is incorrect, but they're not catering to those people. They're trying to bring in new people to the IP and the franchise, and they have to do that by doing stuff like this. So I just really don't think it's a bad decision. I think fans of media sometimes need to, I don't know, sort of understand that movies and TV, especially from video games, are a very different approach.
Yeah.
It is not the same.
It's not Last of Us. You know what I mean? Last of Us is a a movie narrative in a game. These are Resident Evil game stories, and they're not going to translate well at all.
Speaking of The Last of Us being for the fans and Resident Evil not being for the fans of the original material, you know what was for the fans of the original material?
This is a good segue, this.
The Super Mario Galaxy movie.
Yeah.
Have you heard what Shigeru Miyamoto has had to say about the reviews of the Super Mario Galaxy movie?
No.
Okay. So when asked this question, I quote this from thisweekinvideogames.com. Actually, I thought there was some truth to the critics' opinions on the previous film, so the first film. However, I thought this time would be different, but it's even harsher than last time. We've come from a neighboring creative field with the hopes of contributing to the success of the film industry. So it's baffling that the ones who should be championing our efforts are so negative about it.
Well, right, okay.
So he's basically throwing a fit because people don't like his movie, saying, actually, we're trying to save you guys, so you should actually like our movie.
Yeah.
I think that's a very Japanese mindset of like, we provided you something, therefore you should like it. You shouldn't be negative about it. You should be praising it to Kingdom Come, because that's just not a normal response. I've seen that film. Most of us have seen that film. It's not good. It's a film where nothing happens. It flashes Mario things on the screen. It's just not a good movie narratively. Like, other than the animation, it offers pretty much nothing.
Yeah. It's a Jingle Key film.
So yeah, Miyamoto saying that is very funny. I do actually like that. I think it's very funny, but obviously, I just don't think it's saying anything different, really. Like I said, especially the Japanese mindset of like, if you provide a service, it should be praised at like all costs. It doesn't matter if it was bad service, and it doesn't matter if the product was bad. They did something, therefore you should be happy about it. I think it's a bit silly to think like that, but
it's interesting because the first Super Mario Bros. Movie, way back when with Bob Hoskins and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So in a book that I'm reading, it details how Miyamoto first saw it. He got picked up at the airport, and some other guy from Nintendo took him and watched him. And he just smiled all the way through it. And then he was asked his opinion at the end, and he took a moment. And he said, "I think people will be able to separate the movie from the games."
Right, because he clearly didn't like that.
He did not like it at all. But
it was still nice.
But he was fine with the fact that people were giving it shit. I think that because this one is closer to the source material by far, I think that's probably why he's getting a bit upset that everyone's ragging on it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man. Like, it's like fair enough. It's just you just never. Well, I don't want to say never, but if you're basing a movie off of a game that has literally no plot and you're just trying to, I guess, copy it, it's just not going to be good, is it?
Have you seen that they've added an epilogue to Super Mario Galaxy 2?
I did. They added
Yeah.
a 10th chapter or whatever it is.
Yeah. Rosalina's speaking to a little girl, and I think the assumption is that it's Peach, so it's kind of like bringing the story over from the movie.
It was really funny because I was looking at the comments on Twitter when it thingy, and people were like editing it to be a Super Mario Titans.
Yeah.
From that leak.
Oh, really?
Well, that the big leak, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, Titans is real."
Yeah, God.
But it wasn't. It was just. I think it was just called Epilogue.
Titans isn't real, and I'd kill myself if it is. They're real, yeah.
So two more points on this. To back up what Lewis said before, in the same article, when IGN Japan launched, they had a meeting with a very famous Japanese game producer. It's not named here who it was. Who was displeased with the relatively low scores that IGN had given his latest game, which is mad that IGN would give a low score, and lectured the IGN Japan, saying that for 90 minutes, saying that their job as games media should be to raise, support, glaze, and hype up the game industry.
Yeah.
And apparently there's a term for this, which I'm going to butcher, Moriagaru Hichotachi, which basically means be a hype man.
All right.
That's a phrase that they used. But the other point is that Miyamoto does have an opportunity for redemption, because I don't know if it has released now, but as of this article, it hadn't. The Mario Galaxy movie in Japan is having a script rewrite.
Oh.
The script's going to be changed, and Miyamoto is doing it himself.
Okay.
So, so who knows? The script could be different.
Yeah, I don't want. Listen, I love Miyamoto. I think he makes fantastic games, but I don't know if he can write a script for a movie.
Yeah, is he a writer?
No, he's not. Think of all the dialogue in any Zelda game. You know, the guy's not a writer. He's a fucking visionary. He's a genius, but he is not a writer for movies at all. But well, we'll see what comes of that, I guess.
Yeah, but we can move on to the final news, which is one which I've been trying to talk to you guys about, but you don't seem to be that interested. It's about the stuff to do with Xbox.
Xbox again.
So
the thing that I posted yesterday.
I don't know. I don't read.
I don't think it's not the game mode thing.
Yeah, I know what you're. Yeah, sorry, I know what you're talking about.
We can talk about that though if you have more information on that. But I just wanted to cover. I've got 4 different articles up here to try and cover it all, because it's been a busy week for Xbox. So the first thing, which I'm happy with, because I never cancelled my subscription, unlike you guys, is that Xbox Game Pass Ultimate has reduced in price. For PC, it is now. It was £17 a month, and now it's back to I think what it was initially.
$10.99.
It was £11 apparently.
Yeah.
But that comes alongside Call of Duty being removed from Game Pass Ultimate from now on. In terms of day one, it will instead be released a year later, or like the next holiday season. So that'll vary slightly. If Call of Duty is released in October that one year, then it might not be released till like November next year.
I just want to say something here. That Call of Duty thing seems really dumb.
It's so stupid.
Who the hell is playing a Call of Duty game when the new one is out?
Yeah.
No one. That's not a thing that people do.
Well, no, yeah, I mean that's true. I mean, like you could say just there's no point in putting it on at all. But like the reason why they've done this is I think so twofold. The first one is that Activision lost $300 million from their expected revenue, which could be in part down to the terrible reviews that they got. But I think what they're attributing it to is that people are just playing it on Game Pass instead.
Yeah.
Like just paying for like 2 months of Game Pass, playing it, and then canceling Game Pass.
Yeah.
But also, I think that's what led to the price increase. And then they Asher Sharma came out and said that Game Pass Ultimate is now too expensive, and so they've reduced it again, removing Call of Duty. I think the equation there is that one game shouldn't increase the price by like 30% for everyone, if not everyone's going to play it, and the most people who probably get Game Pass to play it are going to buy it for like 2 months and then cancel it again. So I think that's overall positive, but at the same time it's weird to call it a positive when essentially they just like press Control Z.
Yeah, it is very annoying. Yeah, because it was only a very short time frame, wasn't it? They only made that change It probably was longer than I think ago, but it felt like it was only about 4 or 5 months ago that they changed the price, so they didn't last very long.
No.
I think
I thought it was like 3 months ago.
Yeah. The main positive is that it's a new CEO decision. The original decision wasn't made by her. She's come in and she's made the decision, which is, I think, positive. It's a positive decision, and it's one of the first big decisions that she's made, and it's quite a big one as well. So it's as big as increasing the price. So
it definitely makes the future optimistic if she's coming in and making changes like this straight away. But it's also whether or not this was planned. For all we know, this was a decision they were like, we're going to do this, but we'll wait for the new CEO to, give us some points now to make things look a bit better.
Oh, that's a very pessimistic view of this.
No, it's a bit of a conspiracy theory. We should have Louis' conspiracy theory corner.
I'm not saying that is the case. It just seems like a very quick turnaround, especially since she only came into being CEO very, very recently, like a couple weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, she didn't just magic into existence. I assume she was doing something else before she was CEO.
Yeah, she was doing something else. Yeah.
No, she was actually not as adjacent as you might think. She previously worked in AI. I think it might have been for Microsoft, but not in the. So that's what I thought as well, and I might also still think that, but I haven't thought about it recently. So like there was the whole drama with who was second in command to Phil Spencer. What was she called? So Phil. No, because Mabu is a man and he's still there.
No, it's just funny, no?
Is I can't Sarah Bond, right?
Okay, that rings a bell.
No, I think you're thinking of Major Nelson.
Anyway, so it was internally from what people have said, but this is all like rumor, hearsay, and weather for or whatever. Sarah Bond was being like groomed and primed to take over Phil Spencer when Phil Spencer was made to retire, which is what happened. Okay. And then she also got sacked at the same time as Phil Spencer, and then Ash Sharma came in, which for me implies that like no, we need to do a big change of direction here. And it seemed like because what people are saying about Sarah Bond being primed to take position, that it implies to me that Ash Sharma wasn't. So it's interesting. Yeah. But another big change, less major, because it doesn't really affect us, but I think it's exciting at least, is that 2 branded changes. They've changed Xbox from being called Microsoft Gaming back to Xbox, and they've also given it a nice, I think, original Xbox inspired logo.
It's like a transparent green.
Yeah, which is quite nice. Not very corporate at all, which I think is quite cool as well. But also, it's all very calculated. What they're going for. But yeah, I think that's quite. That's the whole thing. Like they're sort of doing a Matska, make Xbox great again. Sort of like through line of thinking. So that's what they've done there. But I want to lead on to what's most interesting. So Ash Sharma and Matt Booty did a talk to Xbox employees internally. And they said a whole bunch of stuff, but I want to start with what might be the funniest thing. So they've got a master plan, a 10-point master plan, which starts with which is under the umbrella of the term "We Are Xbox." So the 10-point plan is earn every player, number 1. Number 2 is protect our art. Number 3 is stay rebellious. Number 4 is progress over perfection. Number 5 is signal over ceremony.
Oh God, this is such corporate bollocks.
6 is core before more. 7 is outwork the problem. 8 is speed is learning. 9 is makers over managers. And 10 is clarity is kindness.
They're just saying shit.
Just corporate bollocks. Makers over managers is just a lie as well. That's just not true at all.
That did be true. That did stand out as like the big one. That if what was true, that's a lot of people's cushy jobs where they just turn up and do nothing. They're just getting stacks right there, which probably won't happen. So I think that what they want to do is, I mean, at the center of this, she keeps on reiterating it because no one believes her, that the core of their direction is console, is Project Helix, And I think that point 6, which is core before more, is pointing to that, like focusing on that core system and branching out. Whenever she talks about the future of Xbox, she's like, yeah, console first, but also we have cloud gaming as well as like a secondary thing, which I think is good. That's the thing. I want a reason to not buy a PS6.
Yeah.
And you know, the best reason that is an Xbox, because I'm not going to buy a Switch 2 because it's a dog water console for dog water people. And
he's not wrong right now, to be fair.
No, I don't disagree. I don't disagree with him at all. It's just
That's why I'm not saying anything.
It's just a Pokemon machine.
And yeah, I just found the third point, stay rebellious, quite funny. What does that mean?
God knows. I think it is positive news, and I think there is a place for Xbox for sure if they can turn it around. Obviously, the market's kind of splitting in two next gen, because you've got your PC side and you've got your console side. So you've Sony and Nintendo on one side, and you've got Xbox and Steam and Valve on the other.
Yeah,
I think there's definitely a place for them over on that PC side for sure.
Yeah. I haven't got quotes, but there's been talks about them. I think it's been rumored before that they are going to relook at exclusivity. And that might also, something which I want to talk about with the Game Pass stuff is, people are concerned, well, some people are concerned and some people are not, is that Call of Duty is just the beginning in terms of it not being day one first party, because it's technically a first party game, not being a day one first party game, and whether or not they will lean more towards the PlayStation model of, you know, games come 6 months to a year later on the subscription service, but we might get some day one indies.
I think the games that stay exclusive to Xbox, which I think that they're going to look obviously making that move back into that kind of thing, should be day one on Game Pass. Anything that is shared with other consoles like Call of Duty, and there will be others as well, should obviously just be. That doesn't need to be the case at all.
Yeah. But it's the whole interesting thing, them looking back at exclusivity again, because, you know, the stuff which they haven't had to tackle really is the decision about the next Elder Scrolls. You know, like that would sell console. They haven't had a game which would guarantee them to sell consoles this generation or last generation. The next Elder Scrolls would be one of them, and whether or not that is exclusive to Xbox. But then again, like, that's the thing, if they make it day one Game Pass, then it's not exclusive to Xbox because you got PC Game Pass. Like, that's the tricky thing to consider, I think, because if they want the people to buy consoles, then having it day one on Game Pass means it's going to be on PC Game Pass as well.
Yeah, but that's also the issue of Xbox, is they're never going to have a realm where it's exclusive, because there's not a world where Microsoft release a game for Xbox and not PC. I just don't see that happening. So it's never going to truly be exclusive again anyway. And that's out the window.
Unless we look, because like, that's the thing as well. The next Xbox is going to be a PC as well.
Yeah.
I don't know to what extent, but like we're talking about with the Steam machine, is that I think that the Steam machine and the Xbox could be two incredible devices for someone like us when we were like 14 or 15. Where we wanted that we wanted that premium like gaming experience, but not spend £3,000.
Yeah,
you know, and like that could really like sort of inject itself into the new generation that's maybe growing a bit out of Roblox and growing a bit out of Fortnite, and they want to branch out because, like, I think it's what's interesting is that it's interesting. It's not like Nintendo or PlayStation where you could bet your house on what they're going to do next.
It's exciting for sure, especially since they've been in the mud so much. Like, I'm interested to see if they can pull themselves out. And these decisions so far do seem like the first appropriate step to doing that.
Yeah, I mean, it's the first time in a long time where I've read something about Xbox and felt positive. So at the very least, they've got the PR right.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, that's it for the news.
I've actually got a couple of news stories. We're only going to talk about them quickly, but they are important. So the Steam controller, the new Steam controller has come out. All the reviews that I've seen of it have been, it's a decent, it is a good controller, but that's it. It's not the best controller ever. People, every review I've seen compare it to the Pro Controller 2. for Nintendo.
Yeah, well,
and say that's better.
So the main thing, one of the main things I've been hearing about it is that it's full of features. It can do a bunch of stuff, but apparently, quality-wise, it just doesn't feel great. Like, it feels cheap.
Yeah.
Probably feels like a Steam Deck, which also feels cheap.
Yeah, and a lot of people compare things to the Switch 2 Pro controller, which I do agree is one of the best controllers, if not the best controller. It feels unbelievable to hold.
Yeah. Still not all.
It's got really good stick placement because it's got the, I can't remember what the stick placement's called, but the Xbox stick placement where it's diagonal from each other. It lacks some stuff like adaptive triggers, but triggers that you can like pull down.
Like manual triggers kind of thing.
Yeah. That's like the main killer of the Pro controllers. It does has clicky triggers, so it loses a lot of functionality in that regard. But overall, I feel like that is the comparison for controllers because the other controllers that are on the Switch 2 controllers level are the DualSense Edge controller and the Xbox Elite controller, not the standard models, but they're Pro models, and they're like $200 controllers.
You know what else is mad though? Is that one positive is that there's going to be no stick drift because of what they're doing with their analog stick.
Yes, yeah.
But
which is
the other thing is that you can only play Steam games with it.
Yep, you can only play Steam games with it.
That's like the most shocking thing.
So just to clarify, if you add a game to Steam, you can use it, but you shouldn't need to do that. It should just be a PC compatible controller, just like plugging in an Xbox controller or a DualSense to a degree.
Do you reckon it'll work with DS4?
No, it would work with DS4. It would work with DS4 Windows.
Yeah, where it would bypass that.
Yeah, well,
we shouldn't need to do that.
No, because DS4 Windows turns like a PlayStation controller into an Xbox controller, right? And
it just gives it X input. Yeah, that's what it does.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it would work, but it need to be able to change it, like just kind of get around that. Because there is something built into there that is making it has to be a Steam game, which no other controller has done before.
Yeah, it just uses Steam input, which is really odd.
Why would he do that? Because they've got no competitors, so really, it's just combating emulation, if anything.
Yeah, so in my mind, it's because they are moving towards a more console-focused mindset. Therefore, they are moving towards a more proprietary mindset. Like this is our kit. You're using it to access our store, and that is it. Yeah. Someone will crack it. Someone will make it so you don't need to do that. If not DS4 Windows, then another program will come out where you don't need to do that.
I think about it slightly from one perspective of maybe the only reason they're doing it is to ensure that the software itself, or the hardware itself, and the software always work. By having it only use Steam input and adding games and it's still working, I think it's potentially just being done in a way where they can guarantee that there will be no issues with the game that you're trying to play. There will be no miscommunication between the controller and the game itself because one thing is missing. If it's connected to Steam and you're running a game through Steam, it will work flawlessly. And that's the only real reason I could see why they've done it. Yeah. I still think it's silly, but that's the only reason I can think of.
Bro switches from pessimism to optimism at the drop of a hat, does literally.
Well, it's between. It depends if it's Xbox or.
So one last thing I want to talk. We don't need to talk about it for long, but it is important to the industry because it's going to affect the way things are made, the way things are protected. Is Denuvo? You've heard me talk about it a lot. Has been bypassed. Denuvo was the main piracy protection. It's anti-cheat is labelled as, isn't it? But it was used as piracy protection that stops a lot of games. Like for example, Capcom, nearly all of their games had it. So a lot of games were being pirated. There is someone who now knows how to crack it, which hasn't been the case for a long time. But now there is. Even if the game isn't cracked, there is a bypass in place. Anyone can bypass a Denuvo game now. I think IGN reported on it a couple of days ago. All single-player, non-VR Denuvo games have now been bypassed.
Yeah, I was going to say that. It was announced the other day. It was a big deal. Every single game that had Denuvo on it outside of multiplayer is now fully playable.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to how it affects Denuvo for a start, because they're a company with people working for them.
Yeah,
and they've now become pretty. Like to think, there are risks to the bypass for sure, but those risks have been minimised, and they are getting more and more minimised all the time. But it's just what's going to happen to that software. because no one obviously if people are bypassing it, then no one's going to want to use it.
Well, yeah, it was the main function. It was the main selling point. It
Yeah.
was the whole reason it existed.
And
Well, I suppose they have a time limit on fixing it.
yeah,
Coming out
You can't
with,
but the thing is, so
alternative.
from what people are saying, there is no way to stop this. The bypasses everything. So they would need to work with Microsoft and pay a significant amount of money to get into the root of the OS and stop that from happening. But I don't see Microsoft allowing that at all.
Yeah, I don't know. You feel like they'd have like a break glass in case of emergency type situation. Maybe.
I think it's one of those things they've just been confident about because it's never been like Denuvo's been around for like I don't even know at this point. Like I want to say like at least like 10 years or so. It's been a while. And they were always adamant that it just couldn't be cracked. And so it might genuinely just be a shock to them that someone did actually manage to crack it or bypass it. I assume it's something they never thought they'd have to deal with.
Yeah, no. I can imagine the day it happened and it being announced and everyone started using it that it was like the place was on fire in that place. But obviously we've not heard anything from them, I don't believe.
I doubt they will say anything about it.
Probably not.
I think anything they say is just going to lay more credence to the fact that because your average consumer won't know this is happening at all, other than the fact
that's the core of the problem. Yeah. Like I feel like there's a very small subsection of like a Venn diagram where people who would pirate a game if they could would buy it if they couldn't.
Yeah.
So whether or not that actually has any measurable effect on sales of games is,
it'll be a small percentage. It'll be a small percentage. It's not going to kill the industry at all. Like nothing. Like it's not going to cause any like meaningful dip. But most of the piracy that actually happens is in other countries where these games aren't released.
Yeah.
So
all
it's
localized.
All localized. So it's I don't think it's gonna, but it's just important. It's important to the industry because obviously now everything is pirable again, the way it was years and years ago before Denuvo came in. But we can move on from the news now. We're gonna do a draft update first. Is what we're gonna do.
Yes. It's draft update time.
Right. So let me,
I forgot I did that.
I forgot. I found it earlier today. 1 second. I wasn't logged in or anything. Oh my word.
I think that was from the draft last year.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Cool. The PTR League. Let me share my screen. Right. So, a few games have come out since last time. So our scores now stand in first place with 4 games out is Lewis.
Of course.
We got Saros out. That's pretty much it since last time, isn't it? Which gave him a meaty 19 points. Very well received. Then we got second. We got Alex with Pragmata came out, gave him 16 points. So he's now got 35.
Well, no, and then Titanium Court came out, which just got rid of the 16 points. So I'm still on 35.
Oh dear me, yeah, because of the counter picks. I'm in third place with 3 games out. Procopia fucked me, obviously. I think everything was out last time we spoke about it, so there's no change for me really. And then Niall Titanium Core come out and get 16 points. So
now I'm out of minuses.
Yeah, but you are very much in last place.
But I mean, Assassin's Creed Black Flag is now coming out as well.
It is coming out.
And on the website, it is the highest bidded for game as well. So everyone is banking on this game.
All of it was there from day one.
From day one. I felt like a fucking genius when that actually got confirmed.
Yeah, so our next transfer window for getting, I think it's 3 games and 1 counter pick, is after Summer Games Fest. So it'll be the PTR show after Summer Games Fest, so in June. And then we'll do one at Gamescom as well, and which I'm very sad about because one game which I forgot about but I wanted to add was a game called Mixtape, which I'm saying now is going to get like 88 on OpenCritic. Everyone for the past year has been going about how incredible this game is. So I'm very sad I can't add it. From what I understand, it's like a Life is Strange type beat, but people say it's incredible.
Cool. Next released in the next month, we've got Forza Horizon 6 for Lewis, and for Alex, we've got Lego Batman and 007 First Light.
The reviews, the previews for First Light has been really good. People have been saying it's very, very good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Again, I'm seeing mixed stuff. Like they don't think that it's nailed being James Bond, but they've nailed being a cross between Hitman and Uncharted, which is fine with me.
Yeah.
I saw
that sounds
one
good.
complaint, which I just felt like it was a nothing complaint, and it was them complaining about. It was them saying that they don't believe this game has matched the same, not quality, but same design as Hitman. Saying that certain things that are in Hitman, like moving bodies and just the overall game design, aren't as good. But a lot of people's rebuttal to that was this isn't Hitman, for starters, and also James Bond is tackling more of an open world situation as opposed to Hitman, which was very set levels. So the main complaint that I was seeing seems like a very nothing complaint, really. It seems like something that isn't going to affect the game negatively, and so far for me doesn't worry me about the game coming out. I think based on all the positives and that being the only negative I've seen, I'm still really optimistic about it.
Yeah.
And I still think it's going to be a really good time.
Me too. I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to Lego Batman as well. To be fair, it's going to be a good month for games for sure. Forza, Lego Batman,
Forza as
and
well.
007. Yeah,
Mina the Hollower as well, maybe.
Mina the Hollow as well.
Because that went gold, didn't it?
I remember
They
saying
did.
that. Yes.
Yeah.
Right, cracking. Right, we're going to move on to the big cheese.
It's the big cheese, Gromit.
Alright, so we're going to do a kind of cross first impression / review of Pragmata. Me and Alex have finished it. Lewis has
I've not
not.
finished it.
Well, you've not
right at
finished
the
it.
end.
Damn.
Right at the end.
Well, I'll be reviewing it then. And Lewis is going to give his first impression. We're not going to spoil anything at all. We're not going to spoil
We
anything.
could have a spoilery section when me and Lewis deafen ourselves.
Yeah, I think it'd be a bit redundant because Oliver can't even talk about the ending.
No,
because-
I'd be in the call by myself. That's fine. Lewis, do you want to give your first impressions first, please?
Yeah, my first impressions is the game is just a bundle of fun. It controls really well. It looks absolutely incredible. The dialogue and the voice acting between Diana and Hugh is just really, really good. I was worried before the game came out that they wouldn't be able to really sort of get that kid banter like done very well. I thought it would get quite annoying. But Diana's just very sweet, and I think the energy that she has with Hugh is just a really, really enjoyable thing to watch. The gameplay is absolutely phenomenal. The gunplay is really good. The hacking system's really good. It's just, in my opinion, the pure definition of fun. I don't remember the last time I booted up a game and I've enjoyed just playing the game this much. It's just a really, really fun time, and I'm excited to get more into it. I'm about 2 hours in at the moment, so yeah, I'm really, really excited to dive deeper into it.
Yeah, for sure. Alex, what were we thinking?
I love it. I think it's probably my game of the year. I'm very close to the end. I don't want to say like chapters or anything because I don't want Lewis to like know like how long he's got left and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love it. I love the training because I just get loads of like Neon White vibes of doing all the challenges, and like I'm going out my way to do every single challenge as well. So it's not like Neon White where I was like, oh, I've got to the end, that's it now. I'm literally doing everything, and I'm going back to old areas, exploring with my new power-ups and stuff like that. I've not had a game like this in a while where I've wanted to do everything, and it's just been, as Lewis said, a bundle of fun, and I'm just excited to finish it, which I'll probably get done either tonight or tomorrow.
It also made Resident Evil 9 worse. We're gonna have to go back and edit the Resident Evil 9 review.
I did, because this honestly, this is probably going to be like a 9.5 or a 10 for me.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I finished it. I gave it a 9. I really, really, really enjoyed my time with it. Like you both said, it's incredibly fun. When I first saw this game announced, I thought literally nothing of it at all.
Yeah, didn't care. I had no attachment whatsoever.
Absolutely no attachment. It looked, because of the kind of, it looked all very samey. It looked like it was combat focused. There was no story or anything like that. All the enemies looked very samey, but I think it was marketed quite badly. I don't know how they could have marketed any differently, but it was like you say, the combat is just so fun. Like you'd think the hacking would get boring, but it doesn't.
No, it just doesn't.
It just
I'm going on my way to hack more.
It's just I was gonna say it's one of those video gamey games I've
Yeah.
played in a while.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
It is a video game. The last game I played that had combat this good that actually made me like seek out combat encounters was Expedition 33. And
Yeah.
they've just found that secret ingredient just to make the combat really really fun and make you really enjoy it. And even if you die and lose, you want to go back and do it again. You don't get frustrated. And if you die, it's completely your fault every single time. The story is very Capcom. It is very Capcom, but that's not a bad thing. Capcom do fun stories. They don't take themselves too seriously or anything like that. Like you said, Diana and Hugh, they had a really really good dynamic, and the game is fucking beautiful. Like it is really really nice.
Unbelievable how
Some of
good
the
it looks.
cinematic
Yeah,
scenes.
whenever you go out into space, because you're on the moon. You're on the moon, aren't you? You're on the moon. Yeah. When you go out into space, Jesus Christ, it is phenomenal to look at, and is incredibly well optimized as well. My PC is not that great, and I run it at highest settings, and I've never had any issues with frame rate, nothing like that.
Yeah, I barely have any stutters or anything. Like maxing everything out pretty much. It's one of the. I praise them for being one of those video gaming games. It's one of the most optimized games I've played on PC in God knows how long.
Yeah.
And I like genuinely have to give a ton of credit to Capcom or the PC team because it is unbelievable. Especially since nowadays, every time I play a video game on PC, it feels like there's a 50% chance it just won't run or it will run like ass. So I really do appreciate when a game runs like this.
Yeah, definitely. And like Alex was saying, like even the side stuff, like anyone who's been watching the show for a while will know that I don't really do side stuff unless it needs to give me something. And they found that really good balance between like it being fun and you wanting to do it, and them giving you really good rewards for it. Going doing the training like in any other game is just something I'd ignore, but that you get really good rewards, which makes the actual like because it can be quite a challenging game in places. It gives you like more health, it gives you more upgrades, and yeah, I just banging 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10.
Yeah, they did nail the progression very well, like you were saying. I
Yeah.
think the way that they formatted it and the way that I think it's the I guess quality of the rewards that you get from things. It never feels like you're doing something and the reward that you're getting is not worth the effort. Like you put in the effort and you do get really good things.
Yeah.
And I think that helps the sense of progression like a lot. Because it feels like no matter what part of the game you're in and no matter what you're doing, you're constantly gaining some sort of material to get a new upgrade. It never feels like you're stagnating and you're just like stuck not doing anything for a couple hours. It just feels like there's always something else to unlock and something else to do. And I think they balance that really, really well, at least in the first 2 hours anyway.
Yeah, I've found myself like obviously going back to the old areas and stuff, and I get upgrades that I can use to then upgrade my weapons, and I'm finding myself balancing throughout all my weapons rather than just focusing on like one weapon, which is what I normally do. Like all the weapons are fun to use. Like it takes a lot of like preparation as well. Like when you're going into like a boss fight, for example, it's like, oh right, okay, I've got this weapon that I can use, and then I can use this, and then hack during this part.
Yeah.
It's just so much fun.
Yeah, exactly. You like you say, you're constantly bouncing between these weapons because there's what is the 3 types, isn't there?
Yeah,
Well,
3 types. And then
4 types.
four
Sorry.
I
types
haven't
of
unlocked
Uzi
the
pistol.
type.
Yeah. So I mean, in your playthroughs, because you've done more than me, was there more than was? This might be slight spells for Lewis, but what did you ever find more than 2 main weapons?
No.
No. So
No.
that's one, but I wish there were more. Like
Yeah, but it is kind of like what else could they have done? Really?
Yeah, because I suppose all other weapon types are covered in the other in the other categories, and I think at first the whole throwing away of like the weapons after you've used it, like for anything other than the main weapon, I thought that kind of annoyed me, but it makes sense with the story because everything's printed with this lunar filament. Yeah. No.
Yeah, and you pick up weapons constantly as well. They're very frequent. It's not like you're ever without one.
Very frequent, and when you can see in every area exactly which collectibles you haven't got yet, which is just I can't stand it when a game doesn't give you that. I want to know what is in each area so I can go out and seek it, and you can get upgrades so you can see those things.
That reminds me of like PS2 stuff, like Jack and Daxter's Ratchet and Clank type things, like listing all your collectibles on the level screen and letting you see what it is you're missing. I don't know why games make that such a secret nowadays, and you have to go look at guides. And half the time, one thing that always frustrates me in games is when there's collectibles and you collect some of them, but then you look at a guide, but then you don't know which ones you've collected, but you have to follow the guide to try and figure out which ones you've collected, so you have to backtrack, and it's awful.
Yeah.
Just like nicely listing what it is you're missing and what you need to get is just how all collectibles should be at all times. I don't like this whole puzzle behind it, trying to figure out what it is I'm missing.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah,
like, that's like the
per
Holy
section as well.
It's like the Holy
Like, and
Trinity,
it's not-
Holy
oh,
Trinity
go on.
collectibles. You make them fun to get. You make it so you know where you know what there is to collect, and they give you a reason for collecting them.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
and then people will 100% on platinum your game and spend more and more time with it.
Yeah, like I'm debating going and getting all the achievements on Steam, and I never like go on my way to do that.
Yeah, there's no platinum trophy. What's the point? You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
you
well,
gotta get it,
exactly. But like, I think I've got like 20 of the achievements already, so I'm like, I'm just gonna look at what I've got left to do after the game, just because I can play more.
Yeah.
I'm actively seeking out more game.
Yeah. Some of the enemy designs in this game as well are just fantastic. So like
Oh.
the bosses are great. No spoilers for the bosses are fantastic. But even some of like the bog standard, like the big head fellas. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, like big fucking baby looking motherfuckers. They're the spooky.
Oh, right,
dookies.
yes.
they're,
Yeah,
they're
no, they are.
terrifying.
Yeah. But when you first come across them, because when you first come across them, you're obviously running away from them, aren't you? And it's like I hope I never see that again. And then they're all the time.
I don't know. I'm happy a new IP came out that has been this well received. I know like new games come out all the time, but it very much does feel sometimes like we're in a spot where like the only games that do like incredibly well are like sequels to something, or companies play it safe and they give us a game and an IP that already like exists. It's nice to get a new IP like this that's completely fresh and removed from everything else, and people still seem to really be enjoying it. I do enjoy when that happens, because it feels like it doesn't happen that often. Like new IPs all the time, but one that's like this successful and this big is always really nice to see when it happens.
Yeah, Capcom, man, just fucking killing it at the moment. Like, just
Oh, yeah.
absolutely
Can't be
killing
stopped.
it.
Literally.
Yeah, it's kind of that year when Insomniac were just releasing games all the time, and just all of them were fantastic. But yeah, it seems to
The
be
year of Capcom.
It is the year of Capcom. Have we got anything more to say before we wrap up, fellas?
All good, me.
No questions or anything, Niall?
No
'Cause
questions.
You want to play it?
I do want to play it. I really want to play it. It sounds great. Like literally, like the thing, it was sort of similar with Expedition 33, where because the environments all look relatively the same. Like I think for every trailer or gameplay I saw of Pragmata, it was all this what we're seeing on screen now, like right now, just like white. And if you're into like Near Automata, which is the makes sense because the art director of Near Automata directed this game, then you're gonna love it. But for me, it just switched me off. And it's the same with the demo as well. I thought the demo was fine, but everyone who's played the demo and then played this game have gone, yeah, the demo does the game a massive disservice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Every
I
trailer
think
gives the
demo.
game a disservice. You need
Yeah.
to play
Yeah.
it. You need to.
The demo's really weird as well. I've never experienced this with a demo. The level in the demo, it covers the same content that's in the actual game, but the actual game, that whole segment's like way longer, and there's
Yeah.
way more stuff going on. It's like they released the demo and released the level, but it's like they cut a bunch of stuff from the level to make
Yeah.
the demo more compact and shorter. It's really bizarre. I don't think I've ever experienced something like that in a demo.
They probably did, 'cause I think it was released during Next Fest, and Next Fest retention and demos goes massively down because people are just going from one demo to the next to the next to the
Yeah.
next. So they probably just want people to get through it. But
It's kind of the
yeah,
same as
might not been the
beginning
best
hour
idea.
for Resident Evil 7. You know what I mean? That was set is the exact same
Yes.
place like you would expect it in the game, but it was shortened dramatically and things were changed around. So imagine they tailor their demos to be a demo rather than just be a chunk of the game, which is good in a way because it means you're not playing the exact same thing twice.
No, well, that's one thing I
Yeah.
appreciated about it, is I didn't feel like I was just doing the same thing, because it's one thing I love and hate about the whole play the demo and then you carry your save data over, because a lot of the time for me what happens is I'll play the demo, it'll be a couple months before the game comes out, I don't really remember what happened, so I don't want to carry over my save data because I don't remember how to play it or do any of it. So then I have to play it again and slowly realize, oh, I do remember most of this, and it's just sort of like I wish I wasn't. So it was nice playing the same thing but different. It was really bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also think like you said, I don't think the demo did the game justice because I played the demo, and I just thought it was fine.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just thought it was okay. It wasn't bad at all. It just didn't really catch me that much. But for some reason, 15 minutes in the actual game, that just really captivated me, and I really don't know what the difference was there. But I highly recommend anyone who wants to play it or wants to give it a go to try and give it a go. I know it's expensive to just jump in on a whim. And the demo might not hit as much as it should, like we just said. But if you're a fan of adventure games with like a cool narrative and just really fun combat, then I don't see why you wouldn't enjoy this game.
Yeah,
I mean, as
incredibly
well,
fresh.
on Steam, like for a AAA game to have overwhelmingly positive reviews is, I think it says something about the game
Oh, yeah, it's
because
a
it's
big deal,
very
yeah.
rare that AAA games do that. I don't even think Expedition 33 has overwhelmingly positive reviews. So, yeah.
I've played. I've sort of the games released this year. I think I've played like 16 of them, and this one is by far my favorite so far. So unless something comes out to knock it off, it will.
But you gave 2 other games a 9.
Yeah, there's
it's
it's a 10-point scale now.
Yeah, it's
10-point scale.
It's very a 9.
Okay.
Not all 9s
Ridiculous.
are equal now.
Not all 9s are equal, you see.
Well, then use the 20 points system.
I shan't.
Better.
I will not. All right. Anyway, cool.
Okay.
Right. Well, we're going to end it there. Thank you very much for watching. We shall see you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.